welcome back to AWS On Air. I'm Jasmine Kyles, and I am joined with my co-host, Jeff.
Hey everyone, I'm Jeff Marushak, your Senior Solutions Architect on our Department of Defense Air Force team, and we are live here in Las Vegas, reInvent 2024. You can see everyone having a great time networking, learning, and we're here to learn about some new features of Amazon Q Business. And we have guests. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah, hi. My name is Faraz Akmal, and I'm a Senior Product Manager for Q Business. Abhinav?
Hi, I'm Abhinav Zavdekar, and I'm a Principal Solutions Architect for Q Business.
All right, so Q Business, we've heard a lot about that today. We've heard in the Matt Garman keynote a lot of new features, but let's set the stage first. Can you let us know, give us an overview of what Q Business is?
Yeah, so I would think of it as a digital assistant on top of your enterprise data, right? Where users can leverage the power of kind of generative AI to search content, generate content, and also take action on that. Abhinav, did you want to add anything? Maybe I missed?
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to add that there are many security features specifically for Amazon Q Business required for our enterprise customers. When Amazon Q Business indexes data or ingests any data, any enterprise content, along with the documents, it also indexes the access control or authorization for those documents. Also, when a user logs in, the user's identity is known at all times. So the user can only see responses from content that they are authorized to see. That's some of the security features. From authorization perspective, Amazon Q Business also offers administrative controls and guardrails. For example, there is a toxicity control that is already built in, but there are also customized guardrails and administrative controls that the administrators can define as per the requirements of their own organizations.
Okay, and we're here today to talk about Q for Me. So what is that and what's happening here?
Oh yeah, so I think we're actually here to talk about Q for Business. Sorry.
Okay.
I actually want to talk about three kind of brand new features which we actually launched this week, right? First, we have released a browser extension, and we've also released a native integration for Teams and Slack. And we basically rolled these both out because we've been hearing from a lot of customers that they really want Q Business to be where their users do work, right? And users are often doing work in things like Teams as well as Slack, and they're often doing work in like various browser extensions. So we are happy to kind of walk through that today as well as give a live demo.
Okay.
And then lastly, we also wanted to touch on a brand new feature called Visual Insights, which basically allows users to search charts and graphs without any sort of pre-processing.
Yeah, that's great. And it seems like Matt Garman said this morning that we're past the excitement of large language models, and the real value is incorporating your personal data or your enterprise data, and you can do that one by one, or then things kind of get siloed. And Q Business tends to bring that all together and make it easy, so you don't have to have a whole bunch of data scientists to train models and pick models and do this. And now these new features you're talking about are taking it even a step further to make it easier for both admins to set it up and the users, right?
Yep, and we really like to say that everyone is now an app builder, right? Because Q Business is that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if it's that easy, I'm ready to see it.
All right.
That's right.
Abhinav, you're up.
Yeah, I'm ready. So,
All right. So we're going to bring up the screen here.
all right. And what let me do is, let me just say hello. How are you?
So does this represent how like a typical enterprise installation would be?
So this is the native browser,
Okay.
or this is the native application we have, but we also expose Q Business via API. So if you
Perfect.
have an existing application or tool, then you are able to point it directly to Q
Okay.
Business.
Perfect.
Yeah. So here I'm logged in on what we call our web experience. So this is the web application. And then what I did is that I just said, hello, how are you? Now, as you can see, you are getting a customized message. It is saying, happy to be part of the demo, right? So what I have done is that I have actually defined
I was going
a
to say,
guardrail.
let me see the prompt, the full prompt behind it.
Yeah, so I have just defined a guardrail. So whenever somebody says, hello, how are you? It is going to say, hey, I'm happy to be a part. So it is actually doing a topic control.
Yeah, and that makes sense here in a demo, but if you're like customer service representative, you would have it respond accordingly how you want your messaging to come across as a customer service rep.
Absolutely. So now what let's do is, without further ado, I want to talk about what this browser extension is all about. So here I am on a web page. This is the user guide for Amazon Q Business, and I spend a lot of my time reading through it or referring to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the browser extension that I have for Amazon Q Business. And I don't have to go and start the web experience. What I can do here is that I just started the browser plugin. So I have my digital assistant at my service on my right hand side. And what I'm going to do is that I just say summarize. And what I'm going to get is I'm going to get a summary of this web page that is open. So it's already working with the web page that is open out here. So here is the summary. So I have the summary of what is there on the left hand side. Now further, what I want to do is
Abhinav, maybe real quick, I'd also like to call out that, we don't use your data to train the model. We don't use it to kind of improve our accuracy. So this is a way that users can leverage a native assistant on top of their IP as well as their own content and have it be fully secure, right? I think that is a real kind of differentiator for us, right? Is that users can rest assured that their data is not being taken by us or by the underlying model.
Yeah, because that could be pretty scary as you're saying, oh, let's use all of our company data to use generative AI. Well, there's private stuff in there. I mean, there's stuff that you want to use like analytics, but there's salary data and stuff that you shouldn't see, certain people shouldn't see. So the security controls you mentioned earlier sound like that will help a lot.
Yes, absolutely. So in fact, all the guardrails are very much active over here. Also, all the conversations that are going on, even in your browser plugin, you can optionally log them in CloudWatch logs. So if you have any compliance requirements or regulatory requirements, you can totally comply with those. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see, let's say I'm going to reInvent is going on. So if I have to talk about Amazon Q Business at reInvent, so let's see how I can get an outline for my talk. So I'm going to say create an outline for my talk on Amazon Q Business at reInvent. And let's see what it does.
Fun fact, this is actually how we came up with today's talk.
Ask that. Is this how you came up with the talk?
It was literally that easy.
So,
and while this is working, I had asked you, you had mentioned...
Can we zoom in just a little bit? It's a little bit smaller on this screen here for the folks at home.
I liked how we started off in the web experience, and you mentioned that it's also available via API. And I imagine that's what the web extension is using, is sending those APIs through.
Yeah, it is. That's how it is going on. So, yeah. So, all right. So you saw what we are doing over here. Now I'm going to do something more. I'm going to start a new chat session. But what I want to do is that many times I get asked, how do you compare Amazon Q Business and Amazon Q Developer, right?
Yep.
So what I will do is, let's see, I will add, so right now I am at the web page for the user guide for what is Amazon Q Business, right?
Yep.
So I am going to add the current web page, and I will go for the web page for the user guide for Amazon Q Developer. And then I'm going to say, add the current web page, and then what I'm going to say is, compare Amazon Q Business and Amazon Q Developer in 100 words or less.
Be brief, be gone.
Be brief, exactly. I really want very quickly. And what's happening is that it is actually using, I just used both the web pages.
Yeah.
And here it is.
I could see customers using this, right? So basically you're giving an example of how customers could take their own web pages and compare things. That could be useful across so many things. What are you seeing it being used for?
Yeah, for example, let's say if you are a product manager and what you are doing a competitive analysis, all you have to do is that just go to different web pages of different products and say, hey, compare all of these pages. And you can tell it, I want detailed comparison, or I want 100 words comparison, I want bullet list of comparison, whatever it is, and it will outline for you.
Yeah.
So this is how people can quickly use the browser extension right at their fingertips, literally, without exiting from their browser.
Is the extension able to analyze graphics and pictures in a web page as well?
At this time, that's a good question.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
More, maybe a future release or something. So
Yeah, and
Possibly.
I would also like to add, right? I think that is like the real value proposition is this would typically be a 15 to 20 minute exercise, and that's not boiled down to 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So I think in terms of kind of time to value, this is how we improve the employee experience, right? Where we basically allow them to quickly get through these tasks and really focus on kind of creating new content versus actually doing the research behind the scenes.
And I can think about that of like something that we do at AWS. We bring on people and we have to train them, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying like, okay, how do I learn the differences in these products? Give me the quick hits. Like
Yep.
I could take it and go put it up on a wiki and say, hey, here's the quick hits of this. Use 100 words or less, but here's a link to go learn more. And I'm not having to spend the time to do that myself.
That is exactly it.
Right.
Yep.
and
Yeah.
my favorite thing to do is write me a multiple choice question based off of this web page and show me, give me 4 options and then explain the answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely. So I think now I'm going to switch to the Slack integration demo.
because that's where
I'm looking for that.
That's where I spend most of my time. Because
Yeah.
I'm slacking
So-
Jasmine during the day, saying hello and everything. If I could have Q right there.
Yeah, so what I have is that I already have the Slack. Here you can see the Slack bot is already integrated and it is available over here. But then most of the times I'm not really talking to the bots, right? I am in some channel. So here I am in some channel and I am asking a question in the channel. What is the list of holidays in a year? And nobody is answering. I don't get any answer. So what I do is that I just, say reply and I say, let me ask Amazon Q Business. And what happens is it's processing. And what happens is it's actually working on finding out because I have already indexed the intranet
Yeah.
of my HR pages. And so here it is. So this is the list of holidays in
And
the
I
year.
get a personal holiday.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
That is
Exactly.
You need
fascinating
those.
because as someone who uses Slack for a lot of things, I'm getting in contact with people quickly. I'm quickly looking for information. I'm usually searching in Slack and trying to say, has anybody ever messaged this? I'm looking in different groups and threads.
Yep.
Yes.
Quip pages, right? You're
Yeah.
browsing
Yeah,
your Quip, Work Docs,
everything.
Chime,
Yes.
email, etc.
And this
Right?
is just here in Slack. I can ping my friend here. Go back up enough. Right here where you just said, you just at Q Business.
Yeah.
And it's there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
basically, so you can index all of your kind of enterprise actual content, right? So things like tickets, things like kind of PDFs, manuals, tables, etc.
Yeah.
And then use Q Business to quickly search that rather than going through like the hunt and peck exercise, right, of looking through various data repos.
Yeah. Wow. That is super fascinating. All right. What else do you have to show us?
Yeah,
I think
so,
there's a third one.
Yes, I'm going to show one more feature. And what we are going to do is, Firas talked about how we can get visual content out of graphs and charts.
Okay.
Right? So I can ask a question such as, if let's say we have a fictitious company called AnyOrg, okay, and we want to look at their earnings reports, right?
Okay.
So summarize the earnings
I would also add here, right, where
for
when you have these larger kind of content repos, you have data of various structures, right? You have tabular data, you have images, you have unstructured content, etc. And a lot of what we've heard from customers is that they want the ability to search through charts and graphs, right?
Yeah.
Especially teams that are in finance or like manage budget and cost.
Yeah.
So this is a way where, now without any sort of pre-processing, you can index graphs and tables and charts and then make that searchable within Q Business and then also get the results back as a image as well.
Hey,
Yeah.
can I use this for architecture diagrams?
So we have tested it. I think there's a little bit more context needed, but it is
Okay.
something that you should definitely explore.
All right, that's my feature request.
Yeah.
I see so many different architecture diagrams, and I'm like, I don't get it unless it's my product. That's
Yeah.
my request.
Yeah.
And we see the response there. It looks like it actually it created some additional charts.
No, so these are the charts that it is referring to. In
Perfect.
fact, what I can say is that, see, this did not have any wordings. Okay, the chart. In fact, I can quickly show what the source document
Yeah,
looks
so
like.
it is just a graph, right?
Yeah.
So source document is only a bunch of graphs. Okay, and but even though this is my source document, the queue has been able to analyze it, and then it is actually analyzing or giving insights from the charts
Yeah.
that were there in the index document.
Oh my gosh. Like, you just took a finance person's job and they say, hey, I just made this chart, but I don't feel like writing the report, or I don't have time. It works in
Exactly.
reverse.
Yeah,
Now it's like, hey, I can go put this in Q Business, and then I can send my paragraph out to my team without having to spend that extra time.
Yeah, and,
Exactly.
and users can also do a quick kind of image upload as well, where say that you have your own table or chart existing within your own hard drive. We actually have a doc upload feature where you could upload that chart and then have it quickly analyzed. So this is a way that users can quickly get to value without having to add the data to their index, for example.
Yeah, it's great. I want to give a few shout outs. Spicy Musk on Twitch says they love the demo and they thank you for it. Pillbox Gaming says he finds himself searching Teams a lot, just like we search Slack all
Yeah.
the time. So,
And it also works for Microsoft Teams, right?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah. So this was great. Yeah, thanks for showing us. We're about out of time, but
Thank you for having us.
yeah, where would
Thank you
you
for that.
where would you point folks who want to learn more? They saw this awesome demo and they want to learn more. Where would you have people go?
Yeah, I would start with our public website, of course, right? And then we also have tons of blogs, which like also touch on these topics. And then there's a lot of YouTube content as well, right? Where we have, kind of various demos to go and like actually get started with a lot of our new features as well.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, hey, this has been wonderful.
Thank you.
Amazon Q has been on fire today. We're so excited to have you here on stage with us. We hope that you enjoy the rest of your reInvent. And for the viewers at home, hey, we have a survey. Would you like some AWS credits for our first 100 completions? We have some AWS credits for you. So if you want to get started using features like Amazon Q for Business, you'll be able to use those AWS credits. So take our survey, let us know how we're doing and what else you want to see. And we'll be back with more.